What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Titletown Podcast. It's Chace. I'm back here with my friends Drew and Adam. So what's up, everyone?
What's going on?
All right. So today is an interesting because what's the new focus for our Titletown Podcast, and I don't know if you guys have been confused because of what we've been talking about based on the most recent ones, is that we try and record a topic the night before we publish it. So today we are talking about the Pats versus the Cardinals. And it is Sunday night currently, but this will be available to the public Monday morning. So if we mess up the date or timeline, just an FYI, this was recorded the day of the Pats game. So real quick, we're going to do two takeaways and one look at the road ahead for the Pats. And we're going to go left to right. So Adam, you're going to start, then it's going to go Drew, then it's going to go me. And we're going to do 3 rounds of this and then call it a segment. So first off, Adam, what's one of your takeaways from today's game?
My first takeaway, Cam Newton is a bad quarterback. I think right off the bat, you look at it, his QBR today was 6.7. That is horrible. Absolutely horrible. He holds on to the ball for way too long. He just sits there looking for a part. Part of it is we don't have a lot of open receivers. I'll give him that. But he's got to know when to throw the ball away, when to get rid of it, and when to not just like curl up there and take sacks time after time. Also, he just does not throw the ball accurately. A very important part, in my opinion, of being an NFL quarterback is being able to throw the ball where you want it to go. There was his second interception today, where it's so clear he just had to throw the ball to the outside, lead him out of bounds. If you throw it too far, fine, it's out of bounds. And he just kind of floats it right back into the middle of the field. I don't remember who it was, but our receiver had no chance. I swear to God, he's just looking at the defenders, throwing the ball in that general area, and hoping it's our guy who catches it. He's a bad quarterback, fine at running the ball, cannot throw.
Fine at running the ball. Yeah, and so I was, driving home from Vermont this whole game, listening to it on the radio, and after that second pick, my phone was blowing up, and I just see a text from you, Adam, like, it's like he's throwing the ball to the defensive back on purpose. And you guys know, like, when I see Phillip Rivers throw a football, I have shoulder pain. That man just, like goes like that. It looks so unorthodox. Cam doesn't even look at the target. He's like, when he throws it. So I absolutely agree with you, Adam. Drew, what's your first take?
Totally agree, dude. Cam Newton is atrocious. I think my biggest takeaway from this game and what I've seen from the Patriots this season is the Pats have 3 good players. No more than 3. We have 3 good players. Damian Harris has been so good. And I'm going to have 2 honorable mentions, okay? Damian Harris has been so good. Stephon Gilmore coming right off of his Defensive Player of the Year season. Stephon Gilmore has been great. He did a very good job with D-Hop today. Wasn't excellent. D-Hop definitely had some receptions, but it's DeAndre Hopkins, and he did a great job. And then my favorite Patriot on his revenge tour this season says no to all the haters, all the doubters, Nick Folk. Nick Folk. Who is Nick Foles? Nick Folk is Big Dick Nick. He's on his revenge tour. He wants to hit the game winners. 50 yards, no problem. My biggest takeaway is we can trust Nick Folk with some game winners, and we have 2 other players who can contribute. My 2 honorable mentions are J.C. Jackson. Our DBs do look really good. And James White with 2 touchdowns today. That was elite, and he always seems to get the job done.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I believe Folk is now 2 for 2 on game-winning field goals, and that sounds like a low stat, but we've played – what are we? We're 5 and 6. That's 11 games. And most teams, you got the Jets right now who have just no wins, period. And it's not like every year kickers get 5 chances to kick a game-winning field goal. Some might not even get any in their career. So 2 for 2 is a very great stat. So I agree with you on that. All right. So Adam, if you don't have anything to add to Drew, I'll move into my first takeaway. I'm just going to go like straight winners and losers here. For my first takeaway, winner is Adam Butler. That guy just played amazing every time. Again, I was listening to the game in a car, and every time we were on defense, he lit up the stat sheet. Zolak was freaking out the whole car ride, the Radiocast. So that guy, Adam Butler, undrafted free agent, he's about to get paid this year. I hope we pay him because, granted, we do not have anything in the front on the D line besides Winovich and Uche, who they're both up and coming, but it's very good. A defensive tackle is a very great position to have, a good one. And I'm not coming out here and saying he's Aaron Donald, but if he keeps playing like this, that's what we need. You know, we haven't had a premier D tackle really since Wilfork retired, in my opinion. We had Branch, and Guy's been good. But, you know, we do need a premier D tackle, a big cog in that middle of the defense. So I'll give him a winner. And losers, I'm going to go refs. And, you know, I do not like refs ever. I'm not going to come out here and act like they won us the game, they lost us the game. But some takeaways are, one, the block, the Afrene-Jennings block was just not a blindside block. We see I don't know the defender's name, but you see him make eye contact with Jennings, brace for the block, and then get blocked. That's just not it. You know, we still won the game in the end, but, you know, it sucks for Gunner, who probably just lost out like some G's for his incentive of returning a punt. And another example is when D-Hop and Gilmore both committed PI on each other. I don't know how that's possible that you get two guys commit PI on each other. In my opinion, just don't throw the flag. You don't really see a lot of times. I mean, I remember I was listening to the thing. They said the last time that happened was 2013, that two guys going at it both got PI on each other. Like, I don't know what's up with that. And then another just, you know, sorry, do you want to hear what you said?
Questionable PIs.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
the extension was questionable, and then holding the arm was questionable.
Yeah. And so then one last thing I will give them, the refs a good thing, was that but one last negative I feel is that I watched the replay of Cam's and Simmons' penalty, the late hit, the rough in the passer. That he was in bounds. Cam was absolutely in bounds when he pushed him. It's definitely a rookie mistake from Simmons. I don't know why you have to push him out if Cam's already going out. You know, it's a little grudge match at that point. It's a little bush league, but still, they should not have thrown a flag on that one. And then what I will give them is that
I think that was the helmet to helmet though. I don't think they were calling him
pretty dirty
for the late.
Oh, they called it helmet to helmet.
Totally
it
led
just
with his
personal
helmet.
foul. They didn't even specify it, but like it was a pretty egregious.
Okay, I take that out then, because when I heard it, it was they saying that it was because it was a late hit, but that is a good penalty then. So I take that back. But one thing I will give the refs is that I think the lack of PIs that could have been called on D-Hop and Gilmore is a great thing, because you got arguably the best wide receiver, arguably the best cornerback, arguably, going at it. You know, let the boys play. I think they did a good job letting them play, except for that one blunder when they just decided to go flag happy and flag them both. So that's my first takeaway. Adam, you want to move into your next takeaway?
Yeah, sure. First, totally want to agree with you on that Butler take. And in general, the run defense today impressed me. Drew, to push back a little bit, one other good player we have is Chace Winovich.
Yeah,
he's a beast today, like he is every day. And that run D today was just very impressive to me. But moving on to my second main takeaway, I know I'd said this one to you guys already during the game, but N'Keal Harry officially is a bust. That guy is not a good wide receiver. All of last season, when he kind of sucked, I was a big supporter of his the entire time. He made like two really impressive plays, a couple of flashy end arounds that got me excited. But I'm ready to say it, he's just not good. He was targeted 3 times today, didn't catch any of them. Granted, he had Cam Newton throwing to him, so probably most of them were thrown to the defenders anyway. But one I remember very vividly just bounced right off his hands. And regardless, beyond that, he just makes stupid mistakes that hurt the team so much. I don't know if there's an offensive player called for more penalties than N'Keal Harry. And you should not have a wide receiver being your offensive player called for the most penalties. It's embarrassing. He's a disgrace of a number 15 pick or something like that. And absolute bust in my opinion.
Yeah, to go on to you, I was in the same boat as you. You know, got rookie guy in a Patriots uniform. Typically, the Pats just don't play the rookies. I don't care. They don't care if you're the better player. They kind of want to like make you a little bit like harder by being like, oh, you might be better than the guy heading the depth chart, but he's got the age on you, so I don't really care. You're going to sit down. You're going to get the chance when you get in. If you don't capitalize, you're not going to keep playing. That's the Patriot way. Do your job. If you don't do your job, you're not going to play. N'Keal Harry, first-round pick. Never happened before in the Belichick era. He takes a wide receiver first round.
Yeah, 32nd pick, by the way. That's my bad. I just got confused.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No big deal. But he was a promising talent. You know, we look at all the people picked behind him. You got A.J. Brown. You got DK. You got – I don't even know the rest, like Terry McLaurin, all those guys. So much better. Consider possibly elite talents, you know. I will say that. I'm not going to give my stance on these other guys, though, because it's a Patriots podcast. But it was a blunder picking him before all those guys. And to make it even worse, he was a first-round pick. And to make matters, again, even more worse, his game hasn't translated. One thing I will say that really made me be like, all right, it's over is who came in? Was it the Denver game, or was it fourth down? And Cam threw him the ball. Didn't look like a good ball on Cam's end. But then you look at the replay, N'Keal Harry just kind of watched it go by him, didn't make an effort. Like, if you're a wide receiver, fourth down, the game's on the line. You put your body on the line too. He just looks lazy. He doesn't look motivated. And he looks like he just took his money and is running with it. And you know what? I don't care if we cut him and don't even bother trading him for a 7th-round pick, because I don't want him in Foxborough anymore. You know, you got Jacoby Myers, an undrafted free agent, who possibly, in my opinion, should be the number 1 wide receiver. Damari, I don't know his name. But Bird, he's playing really well. But I like the future we have with Jacoby Myers over N'Keal Harry. And I do know that what Bill will do is that he doesn't care when he picked you. If you're not playing well, you're gone. And if he doesn't care if he didn't pick you in Jacoby Myers, he signed him. So that's just my thing. Drew, if you have anything to add to that, go ahead.
You know,
but if not, you're in your
after
second.
him. You know who was picked after him in that draft too? Was Andy Isabella, your
UMass alum, baby.
Just absolutely ran all over us today. So I'd much rather have had him on our side today than N'Keal Harry.
For sure.
Sorry, Drew, didn't take your thoughts.
No, you're good, man. I mean, I'm all for every Andy Isabella praise. I totally agree, dude. N'Keal Harry, it's just been ridiculous. We pick a wide receiver in the first round, and like, how do you end up being so bad? I'm not going to harp on that anymore. We've talked plenty. The takeaway I want to present, which I'm going to say somewhat as a question to you guys, is with some pretty notable defensive players opting out this season, Dante Hightower being one. Our defense looks good when we play good competition. We beat the Ravens. We really handled Lamar Jackson very well. We only let the Cardinals put up 17 on us. One of those drives started from like the 20-yard line with Cam throwing a pick in the beginning of the game. We competed with the Chiefs. And then it's like, let's play the 2-7 Texans and get smacked around. Why do we play up to our competition and then play down to our competition and get wrecked by bad teams? Are we good? Are we bad? What do you guys think about that?
I mean, Adam, you can go first because I'll segue into mine right after.
Sure. To be honest, I just think it's a consistency thing from my end, and I don't necessarily think it's the competition who's on the other side. I think it's just a lot of young, inexperienced guys who just make too many mistakes at the wrong times. And yeah, I mean, they showed us against Lamar. They showed us today. Granted, today they didn't run with Kyler Murray at all because of his shoulder issues or whatever was going on with him.
Still the number
but
one.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
In the Cardinals, still the number one ranked offense in the Cardinals.
No, I absolutely agree. I am kind of confused by the same thing because I see all these impressive plays, and then I see the exact same guys just miss tackles, watch guys blow by them, and I don't think it's a talent problem. I mean, I can't really see it being a coaching problem. I think I just need to start seeing some consistency out of these young guys.
Yeah, to segue into Adam, what you were saying, I kind of do think a little bit is a talent issue, but it's definitely not as much as I think this is just the typical Pats. Obviously, we're 5-6, but you never see us lose the big game to the big bad team, to the big good team. To the good team. You know, back in the day, when we lost the year we lost to Payne Hillis and the Browns. You know what I mean? Like the Patriots, I feel like we typically lose to the worst teams. They just catch off guard, and it's that thing. Like the year we beat the Rams, 2018 Super Bowl. We lost to the Lions that year. We lost to the Jags that year. Yeah. We ended up winning the Super Bowl. We beat the Chiefs twice that year.
The Dolphins that year. That was the.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's obviously, talent, in my opinion, is one of the reasons why we're 5-6. I think offensive play calling is another reason we're 5-6, but I will not get into that today. But I think it's definitely one thing is just Pat's just luck. You know what I mean? We're gonna lose to the bad team here and there for no good reason, but then we're always gonna beat the better teams. We're always gonna play better competition, as Drew put it. And I do think talent's a lot of it. And what you did mention, Adam, missed tackles. There's nothing more obnoxious when you're watching a football game than when your team cannot tackle a player. the amount of times I've seen Jawan Bentley just get ragdolled by like a 5'8" running back this year is just beyond me. I love that guy when we drafted him. He came out and played, but him as like the number one linebacker, no thank you. I hope he's got one more year left in his deal. I hope that like we do not re-sign him unless he shows great thing. I won't get into Jawan Bentley too much. And then the other thing is just it's going back to what I was just saying about the tackling. Tackling wins you football games. Like the reason we lost to the Eagles, in my opinion, in the Super Bowl, besides the fact that we allowed 37 points, is that how many times they do a quick slant and the receiver, the running back, would get 3, 4, 5 yards after having contact. Those first downs, 40 seconds off the clock. That's how you win a football game. And our tackling isn't what it used to be. And it's probably because, we just don't have a big, bad middle linebacker. And, we've always had a Mayo, a Brewski, a Hightower, and now we just got a Bentley. And, if this was a car, that'd be sick, but it's not. It's a damn football player. So that's just mine. So, Adam, I think you raised a very great point, and so did you, Drew. And so now on to my second take. It's just we all are worried, we have Cam Newton. Oh, no. We are going to win the close games. I know we're probably like 2-3 in those close games of final things, but we still have Bill Belichick, the best damn coach out there. And our offense was horrible today. And it's not like it was like no one was running the ball well. We were getting stuffed. Our O-line didn't play great. Cam Newton, again, like Adam said, I'm looking at stats right now, 84 passing yards. That is just – you do not expect to win a football game and have a quarterback pass for 84 yards. But at the end of the day, the common denominator on our team is that we have Bill Belichick, and he is the greatest coach of all time. And his win share for a team is way better than any opposing head coaches. The only ones I think can compare are Harbaugh and Andy Reid. But we didn't play him today. We played, in my opinion, a young and inexperienced head coach in Cliff Kingsbury, who has gotten those wins. But at the end of the day, it comes down to that final drive. It's not just Brady that won us those games back in the day. It was Belichick. He was the one who helped us win those. Brady, most clutch player of all time, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong. But Belichick is the most clutch coach, in my opinion, too, because he's the guy behind there also pulling the strings, not just Tom Brady. Anyone want to respond to that? Go ahead.
The missed field goal did not hurt.
Oh yeah, totally. It's a team sport. You know what I mean? The missed field goal, absolutely, because we were not winning that game if it was tied and we went to OT. I had no faith. But yeah, that's just the thing that the Pats and the Pats fans can always be hopeful about is how we have Bill Belichick. May not be the best drafter out there. He's damn good at trading for players, and he finds a good way to get signing players. But his best trait is game management and coaching a damn football game. And it's like when you play just video games and like your confidence gets better overall. Belichick cranks people's overalls. I'm speaking Madden terms, their ratings by at least 5 because he's just that damn good. All right. Adam, you want to move into your third? And this one, again, just real quick before you get into it, we're going to say like the road ahead after playing Arizona as a 5-6 Pat squad.
Yeah, so you kind of led me into my last point, and that is one of the luckiest wins I've ever seen. You just go through the reasons we won that game. A 53-yard kick return from Dante Moncrief, a great punt return almost for a touchdown by Gunnar Olszewski, a missed field goal, a 15-yard penalty on the last drive by a rookie making a stupid hit. Those are just not things we can expect to happen every week. And that's not the way we can keep winning games. And so I'll say I'm just as excited as everybody about this win, but we did not deserve to win that game. And watching that game, I very much realized that we are an 8-8 team at best. We're obviously not going to make the playoffs. I'm going to keep my hope as a Pats fan, but we're not going to make the playoffs. We're now going to have a mediocre draft pick, and I just don't see a lot of positivity down the end of this season. We're just not going to keep winning games like that. It almost doesn't matter if we keep winning games like that. And I'm just a little stuck as a fan right now I obviously don't want us to be losing. It's too late to tank, but there's just not much upside at this season, and I don't even know what I'm hoping for anymore.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to process what you said. And I know by no means you're coming out here and you're like, I'm a fair weather fan. You're raising great points. We did not, the thing is that Pat's way, has always been, did we deserve to win that game? Most of the time it's not. The thing is, what the Pats are really good isn't winning the games that we deserve to win. It's just winning the game, finding a way to do it, whether it be advancing to the Super Bowl because Dee Ford is just offside. Is it luck? Is it just NFL pulling some strings to keep the Pats thing? I don't know, but it's our strength. Our strength has been winning games and finding a way to win them. And that's just what happened again today. Is Arizona a better team? I would say so. But I think this point ties back to mine a little bit. It's a little irrelevant, but we still have Belichick, and he's going to find a way to win the game. And obviously Belichick isn't out there playing. He isn't the one committing the penalty like Isaiah Simmons did. But it's Patriots football.
Don't get me wrong. I'm obviously thrilled we won that game. All I'm saying is luck being our biggest strength is a pretty
it's not
thing.
Sustainable by any means. I absolutely agree with you on that.
Adam, I fundamentally and passionately disagree with everything you said.
Okay, tell me why.
Saying we won this game because we got lucky is ridiculous. Bad calls happened against us as well, right? That ridiculous blocking call that they said was a blindside hit, not a blindside hit. That took away a touchdown from us. We had a goal line stand when they went for it on 4th down, and they didn't get it. They had, once again, later on in that drive, or in another drive, they had 4th and 5 in the red zone, and then they got a holding call, right? And then they tried to go again, and they got another holding call. You can't say we win or lose games because of luck, because a lot of bad stuff happened to us as well. And then if I could even go beyond that, right now, I just Googled it. Whatever stats and calculator numbers go into this sort of thing, the Patriots have a 10% chance of making the playoffs. You want to know what was lower than 10% chance of happening?
Hit me.
Oh, here we go.
One time, the Patriots were down 28-3 with 2 minutes and 12 seconds left in the third quarter. Oh my God. You probably could have thrown down $10 to win $1,000 on that. That's a lot lower than 10%. That's a lot lower than 10%. This is the New England Patriots, and this is still Bill Belichick. I am so excited to hear everyone swallow their words when I get my $750 on the Pats winning a Super Bowl this year. And Cam Newton, who, yes, is a bad quarterback, thrusts that Lombardi trophy proudly into the air.
Drew, there is nothing I would like to do more. There's nothing I would like to do more than eat my words on that take. But do you think we win that game if Zane Gonzalez hits that field goal? Do you think we win that game if we don't have to
worry about it if they didn't call back that touchdown from Gunnar Olszewski? We wouldn't have had to worry about that. That's a 4-point swing.
I don't know. All I'm saying is that is not the way we want to be winning and losing games. Do you disagree? I mean, sure, you can look at this play, this play, this play. Maybe you're right. There are lucky reasons we won and other lucky reasons that we could have won even more. But at the end of the day, that's not the thing I want to have to haggle over after a game. I want to be able to say, we went out there, we were the better team, and we deserve to win. I hope that we can find ways to win. If it's lucky ways we win or not, don't get me wrong. I want nothing more than to be in the playoffs. But today, I think we went out there. We looked like the worst team. And that's a dangerous way to be going through the rest of our games.
But nonetheless, a win's a win.
I agree.
Agree to disagree on that. And so one thing before you move into your take, Drew, unless that was your take, which is totally fine. But if you haven't done your take yet, one thing I will say, Adam, I would prefer, and I feel like the majority of people would. So again, we are 5-6, a 5-11. If we went 5-11, assuming we lose out, which I do not see happening by any means, our pick would probably be top 10. And if we went 8-8, we would miss the playoffs, assuming, the way the NFL is this year. That's about 6 picks different. I would personally rather go 8-8 than lose out and get a top 10 pick and pick possibly, 5 to 10 picks later, because the talent distribution obviously is very relevant. You're going to most likely get the better player at, top 10 than top 16. But it's the same thing with I'd rather lose on that final drive than just be that team that looks like they have no no fire, no future left. But, I'm not saying you wouldn't agree with me. Yeah.
I'm anti-tanking as well. And also, I mean, when we're talking about our next first-round pick busting 3 years from now, I'd rather be able to say that the 20th overall pick busted than the 8th overall pick busted. So might as well play our cards safely on that one.
Yeah. All right, Drew, what's your on to the future take?
So I would like to maybe continue my point a little further.
Yeah, no problem. Go ahead.
People love to doubt greatness. I remember it was my freshman year of high school and my physics teacher. This was our 2014-2015 season. We started the season 2-2. 500 teams do not make the playoffs. We started the season 2-2. And I remember my physics teacher saying something along the lines of, "Oh, you guys got to watch the Patriots be great for all these years. Like, now this is their downfall. This is their downfall." Do you guys remember how that 2015 Super Bowl ended?
Oh, yeah.
Butler.
Fun one.
Super Bowls are for who?
It's for Tom Brady.
And I know that Tom Brady, that's a terrible comparison right now. The Pats can find their way into the playoffs at 10-6, right? The Pats have always found a way to do it. And I am vehemently opposed to the prospect of tanking a season for a good player. Belichick notoriously has done a lousy job with these first-round picks, right?
Specifically,
and we are winners. And I'm very excited to see what this team still has to offer.
Yeah, so I will agree with you, Drew, on this. We always find a way. Last year was probably the first, I don't remember what the stat was, but probably the first time in 7-8 years that we didn't advance to the divisional round, or at least didn't make it to the divisional round, obviously because we lost in the wild card. So the Pats have started, we won when we beat the Rams. We started 1-2. I remember I texted that in the chat. Like, last time we were 1-1, we won the Super Bowl. Last time we were 1-2, we won the Super Bowl. The Pats, September, are never good football players. We've always been, between it's either 2-2 or 4-0. There's no in between. It's always been like that. Yeah. But the thing is, and I'm just playing devil's advocate for you, Drew. We are 5-6, not 2-2. But here's what I will say. I can see us winning out. Our next games are at I'm pretty sure it's at Chargers, at Rams. I don't know if it's either of those are flipped, but I know it's at both of those back-to-back, which is the same stadium. So in a perfect world, Bill will keep everyone out there, but that's not in our control. And then you got at Miami, home against the Bills, home against the Jets. Those final three, we can sweep. No question in my mind. What we need, we went out. I do not see how we don't make the playoffs.
The Rams lost to the 49ers today. They're a beatable team. And then
absolutely. The thing,
Justin Herbert, I'm not worried about Bill Belichick planning against that.
Oh yeah, totally. So I'm a firm believer we can go 5-0. Don't get me wrong. If we finish 9-7, it is gonna come down to another team losing to make the playoffs, and we know Bill does not want that happening. He is going to do everything he can to win the next 5 games, as any NFL coach would. I'm not trying to be, not reasonable, but I do I would love our position more if we were 6-5, as in we beat the Texans last week, but we all saw what happened there. 5-6 is not the end of the world. If we were 4-7, I would be throwing in the towel now. No way we don't go better. No way we don't finish better than 8-8. But just what I'm like, the 2 hardest games we have definitely are the next 2, solely because we are in California. We are playing against if we're going to lose to the Chargers, it's because because of the passing game. But I don't know. I'm pretty sure Belichick has just never lost to a rookie. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure that's the one crazy Bill stat, along with the many other, that he's just never lost to a rookie. So I'm going to chalk that as a dub. I'm going to count the final 3 games against division rivals as dubs.
We're lost to a rookie at Gillette.
Oh, okay. So granted, we're away, but I'm still not worried about it. It's a passing
19-5
team
against rookie quarterbacks.
Okay. Yeah. So never never assume we're going to lose a game against a pass first team because, you know, we just have a gross secondary. But, you know, the Rams do scare me only in the sense they have a pretty good defense. Our offensive line is top 5. No one can tell me different. So, and I'm not worried about Bill chalking up stuff to block Aaron Donald, as the fact is that J.J. Watt against the Pats in his 8 games has never had a sack. So I'm not worried about Bill chalking something up to stop him. Yeah, if you didn't know that, that's a stat. That's a fact.
Damn.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
But so as I'm saying, Donald, we obviously beat the Rams in the Super Bowl. 2 way different teams. In my opinion, they're obviously not as good as they were when they went. We're obviously not as good as when we went. But that's going to be – if we win that game, I'm you know, buying my tickets to the playoffs right then. If we lose, I'm like, uh-oh, like, yikes. It's going to come down to us winning out, and it's going to come down to us to another team just losing. Like, obviously the Raiders losing today was massive for us, and we just want the Ravens to keep losing. I'm fine with, you know, Pittsburgh going undefeated if it helps us squeak into the playoffs. But yeah, so that's just kind of my final look in the future, is that I can see us going 5-0. Worst case, I think we go 3-2, and that's because, you know, we're playing in Miami, and for some reason we can never win in Miami. But then again, that's Tom Brady who can never win Miami. But I think we're either finishing 10-6 or 8-8. I think there's no in between. And if anyone wants to comment on that, be my guest.
Yeah, I said I don't hate the take, but I think you're underselling the Bills a little bit. The Bills are a much scarier opponent than, they're a division rival at the end of the season, we're going to beat them. They're a good team. That's all I say. I'm hopeful, obviously. Don't get me wrong. I hope we go 5-0. I do see a possible path for us going 5-0, but I think we have at least 3 very hard games to play to do it.
Oh, totally. These are going to be games like we as fans are going to be sweating out, because obviously the Bills are very good. They beat us. You know, what are they, 10-3, something like that right now? No, that's not right. 9-3?
9-3,
Those
I think, yeah.
8-3. Okay.
8-3, yeah.
So they're 8-3. The reason why I'm chalking that up as a dub is because we are home. No fans is a very big factor, but we just have been a lot better at home. And example is, I think if we played the Texans at home, we would have beat them. If we played, you know, in Arizona, I don't think we would have won that game. I still think home field advantage is still relevant in the NFL, but that is my thing. So any last takes before we end this segment episode? We all set? We look at
Prove me wrong, Pat.
All right, prove me wrong. Yeah.
Pat's
Prove me wrong.
Let's go.
Yeah. So, and just one last thing. First and last time I hit Twitter, I said Cam just doesn't look like he wants to win this game. What happened? We beat the Jets. Obviously, I'm not bragging too much because it's the damn Jets, but that is that. All right. I hope everyone enjoyed this episode, this segment. Adam and Drew, thank you guys for coming back on, and we're going to keep this going. I want to keep this rolling. Love talking with you guys about the Pats. And before we end, I just want to say that Titletown Podcast is now on 6 platforms other than YouTube, which you can stream them off. We are on Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, and Spotify. I have a link in our bio on YouTube, on Instagram, and we're getting it on Twitter and our Spotify and our Anchor with all these links. I know I just said a lot there, but I can't say enough. We are on so many different platforms. We are on 7, and we are on 2 social media platforms. So you guys will always be up to date with what we're doing. One thing that is exciting for the future is that we are doing a Mount Rushmore segment once a week. We're going to do current Celtics players. We're going to do past Celtics players, all-time teams, Pats, Red Sox, Bruins. We're even going to do favorite Mount Rushmore foods at Fenway Park. We're going to have a little fun with that. So that's going to come out once a week. We haven't figured out what day that is going to come out, but that is going to be a weekly thing. We're going to keep trying to pump out episodes and keep them the shorter end so everyone enjoys them. But one more time, thank you, Drew and Adam, for hopping on. And, see you guys on the next segment.
Cool. Yeah, until next time.